Welcome back on The Pursuit of Wealth, crypto traders and investors. It's Rod with Powell Group, your home for M&J stocks, crypto assets, news, and interviews. Today is Sunday. Happy Sunday. Hope you're having a great weekend. It's November 16th, and in this video, we're going to do another rapid-fire news update, this time for the period November 8th to the 14th. And again, it's just a high-level overview in case you missed it. Before we get to it, make sure to smash the like. If you're new, you can subscribe, tick the bell. You'll be notified when I post new content, and I do these videos each and every weekend. And as always, this is not financial advice. This is for entertainment purposes only. You can follow us over on X, formerly Twitter. The handle for that is @GroupPow. And that's really a fantastic source for news these days on X. And there's so much like censorship and just BS, for lack of a better word, on the internet now, you know, Google and Facebook and all those platforms. Like you can't even post, something controversial or you can't even post anything about MJ in it. It's just so frustrating. So love the fact that X doesn't censor anything. I can post whatever I want on there. I've never had any issue. But we'll jump right into the news. It was an action-packed week, and the markets have been absolutely decimated. And I mentioned I posted a video right before the XRP ETF, spot ETF in the US went live, the Canary one, which we got some crazy records later on in this video to go over here. But I mentioned that the government shutdown ending, and the XRP ETFs was more than likely going to be a sell the news, and then it ended up being exactly that. So again, just looking at the markets and having the experience, you can start to kind of see these things before they happen. And it's not that it's a guarantee, it was just the most likely scenario, right? Everybody was bullish. The government's going to end the shutdown, that's bullish, and XRP ETFs are going to get approved, that's bullish. But if you looked at the charts, there was death crosses, there was so many, like MicroStrategy confirmed a monthly downtrend, we had so many CME gaps on Bitcoin and around that 80 to 90,000 level, I think it was. So the data, the technicals was saying that we should expect more downside, and that's why I was leaning on the side of sell the news. But Trump says that Trump says 20 trillion will be injected, that's what he believes, into the US economy by the end of 2025. So we'll see. He didn't really give too many details, but we'll see. He said there's something amazing in the works, so we'll keep an eye out on that. BlackRock also bullish on Ripple. During Ripple's swell, BlackRock's Maxwell Stein said the market is ready for large-scale blockchain adoption. He added that Ripple's infrastructure could soon move trillions of dollars on-chain, folks. Epic. Also, gold surged above $4,000 as the U.S. nears the deal to end the shutdown. So they did end the shutdown. They had the spending bill, and they actually had some language in there to ban hemp as well. So it was just a rough week all around for pretty much all the sectors that we cover on this channel. But like I said, it ended up being a sell the news. The only real name that isn't being affected right now is Zcash. And I think that has to do with the fact that we've been seeing a lot of exodus out of Bitcoin, and there's some pretty nasty and strange, dark conspiracies that are coming on a little bit later on in this video. I try not to dive too much into the rabbit hole, but this is something that we can't just bury our head in the sands and ignore. It has to do with who created Bitcoin. So we'll discuss that in just a moment. But Robinhood CEO says what I've been saying for many, many years: tokenization will unlock 24/7 markets, and investors will never go back. 100%. It's going to remove the opening and closing bell. You won't see these gap ups and gap downs, and it's just another way for these market makers to manipulate the market. A lot of people don't have access to pre-market trading. That's kind of being democratized now and a thing of the past. But it's just certain brokers and allow it. But eventually, everything's going to trade 24/7, 365. And it'll just democratize everything and make everything a lot more fair, in my opinion. Before we continue with today's content, everybody, I want to introduce you to today's sponsor, and that is Grapecoin, otherwise known as GRP. To be completely honest with you, I heard about Grape a few months back. I was a little on the fence, and after researching it, I've decided to partner with this company, and I really believe in the future of the project. Obviously, this is not financial advice. This is for entertainment purposes only, and do your own due diligence and research. There are 5 reasons why I believe Grape could be a top 20 coin within, say, the next year. Number 1, Grape is the most powerful chain ever created. That's right, ever created, because every single user node, you can add 1,000 transactions per second. So essentially it's infinitely sustainable with 100 million, a couple hundred million, even 500 million TPS within possibility. Why is that a big deal? That's a big deal because even in Q4 of this year, Grape could set itself apart by being the most advanced AI chain on the market.
with the ability to create near-instant apps, simple games, and smart contracts on-chain with a few sentences using natural language prompts. By combining one of the most powerful chains ever built with the best AI features of any mainnet, the result is the future ability to host the most complex games on Web3. There are some big announcements and releases that are planned, and one of them is the ability to use AI features I mentioned above before listing. This release will allow apps to be created in seconds on GrapeChain with only a few prompts, as I mentioned. That's big because as far as we have seen, no chain has launched features to this extent, so it could lead to thousands of new apps being created on the GrapeChain in a very short period of time, and I'm very bullish on Web3 gaming into the future. In my opinion, the biggest reason to buy now is that they have a partnership announcement with an AI company and even a partnership with a country, and more details will be coming on that soon. GRP also has half the circulating supply of Bitcoin, so its supply is very tiny. That's why it's traded at almost $1,000 a coin already. You might be wondering, $1,000 a coin? I thought it was launching. It's going to be relaunching. So why is a relaunch massive? Well, if you've heard of any relaunch like Matic to Polygon, it surged 7,000%. Why? This is because it takes something proven, you fix the issues, you relaunch it into something better. So like I said, GRP was trading at almost $1,000 a coin without any functionality, without any of the announcements that they have right now. You only have a very short window to get GRP before the relaunch. Currently only about $1 per coin after bonuses, or essentially $3 with a 66% bonus. On average, $1 per coin. This is currently still the lowest price you can get it, and it's about to go up to $15 per coin for the next and last increase before the official launch. So if you get it today, you're essentially getting 15 times more. So to recap, one of the most powerful chains ever invented. We have some big releases and announcements that are coming, half the circulating supply of Bitcoin, the relaunch about to happen with huge upside potential, and you can get it for $1 for the next few days before the price increases to $15. It's also got the highest positivity score of any coin I've seen on CoinMarketCap. It's currently at 96% positive. That's why I believe GRP will be a market leader next year. There's also an $8,000 referral competition underway until Monday, and each purchase counts towards it. You can find more details on the buy site regarding that, and there'll be links for this in the description and in the comment section below. Now let's get back to today's video. Also, Zcash co-founder, the world is demanding more privacy. Well, I find that ironic because we have another article here saying that the EU plans to ban privacy coins in 2027. Not sure why 2027, but yeah, that was always one thing for me is, like, the whole point of blockchain is that it's open source and you can see it's transparent. You can see what's going on. So these privacy chains, yes, I think they're great. I think privacy is great. But do you think the governments around the world are going to stand for that? I don't think so. Like, the whole reason why Bitcoin was created, everybody thought it for money launderers and all that stuff. It's like, no, it's open source. Like, you can see it, right? And then you can just get warrants and subpoenas, and you just go to these internet companies and you get their IP address, and even if they're using a VPN, there's ways to go to the VPN provider and get it from them. Like, literally, there's been hacks and whatnot where the US government has been able to trace it back and get, not just trace it, but actually claw back and get the Bitcoin back. So, yeah, I just don't know how this is really going to shake out at the end of the day. I think that privacy coins will live. I mean, they can't shut them all down. They can ban them, just like China tried to ban Bitcoin and cryptocurrency and whatnot. But like I said, in order to really get rid of it, you'd have to shut down the internet, which I can't see that happening anytime soon. Also, Grayscale Investments Inc. files for an IPO as IPO season continues. We're going to continue to see many, many IPOs, in my opinion, over the next year or so. Also, the UFC announces exclusive partnership with crypto prediction platform Polymarket. So making some big waves there. Polymarket pretty much all over everything these days. And PayPal exec says pay with crypto feature lets millions spend digital assets at checkout, folks. We're heading for mass adoption. We're pretty much there. And this is the future, right? Everything's going to be paid in crypto. You're going to be able to be your own bank. You're going to be able to pay fractions of a penny, unless you're using Bitcoin and Ethereum. Then you're paying, more for a cup of coffee than the cost of the coffee and fees, which isn't a solution for the future. But if you're using XRP to pay for stuff, it's a fraction of a penny, right? And yeah, it's just it settles in 3 to 5 seconds. Everything's going to be crypto payments. That's why it was created, folks, was to make money move at the speed of light, the internet of value, versus the internet of information. Big day one for XRPC, which is the Canary XRP spot ETF in the US. Over 58.5 million in trading volume and 245 million in net inflows, folks. This is wild. And again, it ended up being a sell the news event, but This is just one, and Canary isn't even that big of a firm, right? Imagine when, Franklin Templeton and Bitwise and BlackRock get into the realm, right? And they get into the ring. It's just going to be ding, 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 knockout, KO. Everything else is just blown out of the water. And Eric Balchunas, who is a ETF analyst, says, congrats to XRPC for 58 million in day one volume, the most of any ETF launched this year out of 900. Barely edging out BSOL's barely. Oh, screw off with your stupid idiot. Like, what are you talking about? Barely. Like, just barely. Okay, there, Mr. Solana friggin' Maxi. 57 million. The two, but you have to think about it. That's with Solana's mass marketing machine, with Kathy Wood and ARK Invest pumping the ever-loving hell out of it. All the mainstream media pumping the hell out of Bitcoin and Ethereum and Solana. It's always those three in that order, right? And then, XRP is just the forgotten child, right? The bastard child. But yet it still beat them in every metric. So it's like, that's even more impressive that the mass marketing machine still can't make them beat. And it beat Bitcoin. We'll look at that in just a second. But the two of them are in the league of their own, though, as third place is over 20 million away. Yeah, and didn't even mention the fact that it beat Bitcoin as well. But don't worry, we got you covered. BitGet ETF news for XRP. XRPC beats Bitcoin and Solana ETFs in historic debut. So there you go. Canary Capital, and this is just a small firm, folks. They revealed that XRPC attracted a remarkable 245 million in net inflows on the first day of trading. This figure surpassed the inflows of every existing spot Bitcoin ETF, including BlackRock's IBIT, which recorded 111.7 million, and Bitwise's BITB at 237.9 million. Folks, this is wild, absolute wild. Wait until you see Bitwise's go live this week, and Franklin Templeton. Oh man, folks, it's insane. And how many people have told me that XRP is a scam? I get this all the time. I hear people all the time that say that Bitcoin and Ethereum and Solana and crypto in general is a scam, right? So you have to understand, right? And there's some projects that I'm working with and I'm partnered with, sponsors of the channel, and I'm getting questions about them. And, oh, is that a scam? At the end of the day, do your own research. Don't listen to somebody else tell you that it's a scam, right? Obviously, look at the data and the logic, and this data would show you that the market has spoken. It's bigger than Bitcoin ETFs, folks, okay? So anytime someone tells you it's a scam, you have to look at the logic and data and reason, not with your emotions, and don't listen to what other people say. Do your own research and make your own decision, right? Critical thinking is just not a thing of the present anymore. It's a thing of the past, and people just rely on AI, and they rely on the next YouTuber or the next ETF analyst, or they call it themselves an expert, but they're biased and they have these bullshit talking narratives, right? So at the end of the day, do your own research. Believe in what it is that you're buying, because if you don't, you're not going to have the stick-to-itiveness. You're not going to have the wherewithal. You're not going to have the conviction to see it through when the times get tough. Like right now, the crypto market is absolutely plummeting. So if you don't have conviction in your investment thesis, if you don't have conviction in the sector, if you don't understand how markets work, then you're not going to make it, right? And never invest any more than you're willing to lose. The money that you put in should not make you stay awake at night. It should be money that you can afford to lose, right? And do your own research, and that's that, right? Don't listen to me or anybody else. Do your own research. And you know what? Crypto isn't for everybody. Not every crypto project is for everybody. I'm not here to convince everybody to buy XRP or to buy GRP or SST or XLM or HBAR, whatever it is, right? I don't care. Don't buy it or buy it. I don't care, right? At the end of the day, everybody has to make their own decision, and don't just buy something because somebody else says it. BlackRock XRP ETF speculation continues to grow, though, as Canary XRPC ETF breaks records. And what was it? Van Eck? I forget his name. It's escaping me at the moment, but he's the ETF expert and analyst there, basically saying, don't stop asking us about Ripple, and we're not going to get into Ripple XRP ETF. He's conflating the two, talking about a company and one's a digital asset, like a complete imbecile. And if I were the CEO of Van Eck, I'd be firing that guy yesterday. Absolute moron. So it's only bigger than Bitcoin and
Solana and Ethereum. Oh yeah, no need for that. You think BlackRock's just going to sit around and be like, look at all this money. What does BlackRock love? Money, power. Just Google who runs the world. I bet you that name comes up. Yeah, they're not going to sit on the sidelines for too long, folks. And like I said, way back when, BlackRock, Maxwell Stein, connect the dots, folks. Put 2 and 2 together. It's not that difficult. SBI Group to invest 200 million big ones into Evernorth, the largest public XRP treasury company. Also, Alibaba teams up with JP Morgan to launch tokenized payments by December. So this is just weird to me too. Like, why are you partnering with like American companies? Why are you? It's just weird. But yeah, this is where the puck is heading, folks. Everything's heading toward the tokenization and blockchain crypto payment future. Also, per Bloomberg's Eric Balchunas, the SEC just issued guidance allowing issuers to speed up filing effectiveness to clear the backlog. This could fast track pending crypto ETFs. So folks, you're going to see dozens and dozens. You're going to see baskets, top 5, top 10, top 20, top 50, whatever it is, top American cryptos, right? Or I think Canary was already working on that. And they said that XRP was going to be the biggest weighting in there. So you're going to have all these different types of like basket ETFs. It's going to be incredible. This is why BTC is nuking, says Derivatives Monkey. For the first time ever, MicroStrategy, and MicroStrategy's it just confirmed a monthly downtrend, and it's now down almost 70% from the all-time high, folks. MicroStrategy has gone below a NAV, net asset value, of 1, meaning that Sailor's BTC holdings are worth less than their total debt. Traders are front-running the death spiral of MSTR and its eventual BTC force selling. I think this is the biggest racket in the world right now. This may be the worst story ever in the finance world. Like, it's so dumb. I just can't believe it that they're taking on this much leverage. And just some of the comments out of this guy's mouth on Michael Saylor, like, mortgage your house, remortgage your house, sell a kidney to buy, and like take all the money out that you can possibly borrow and buy Bitcoin. Like, it's the most degen thing I've ever heard. Like, not one successful investor would ever tell you to do that, right? Ever. Not one. And this guy's a complete moron. He deserves everything that's coming to him. The only thing that sucks is that I know a lot of people who bought MicroStrategy, which to me is baffling. Why would you buy MSTR for exposure to Bitcoin when you can just buy Bitcoin without all of these risks? Like, you don't know what's going to happen, right? No one knows what's going to happen with Bitcoin. So to incur that risk and then to add another layer of risk from MicroStrategy and their irresponsible way of going about it is just way too much for me. I don't even own Bitcoin because I don't like not knowing who created it. Tucker Carlson said he doesn't like Bitcoin either because he doesn't know who created it. He thinks it was the CIA. I've been saying for a while now that it was a 3-letter agency, right? Raoul Pal said it was the CIA or the U.S. government and the UK government. I think it was a bunch of governments around the world. But at the end of the day, Tucker Carlson said the same thing that I've been saying for years. Just like, how do people not think that matters? Oh, it doesn't matter who created Bitcoin. Okay, what if it was freaking North Korea? What if it was a terrorist group, right? Who knows? Strategy moves its Bitcoin holdings. Michael Saylor denies rumors of selling. So do you see how this works, folks? If Ripple moves something, or Chris Larson or some of the Ripple executives, if they move something, it's, they're getting ready to sell. See, they're dumping on the market. And then Strategy moves its Bitcoin holdings and they say, oh, no, we're not selling. We're just shuffling some wallets around here. And then all the Bitcoin maxis run to their defense, right? So you see the mass marketing machine here, folks. But yet, guess what? XRP still beat these ETFs, right? Bitcoin and Craplana and Scamtherium, right? So it's hilarious that it's still shattering all these records when everybody's shilling how great Bitcoin is and how shitty XRP is, and every mainstream media article and every exchange, buy Bitcoin and Ether and Solana, and no one ever mentions XRP. But yeah, XRP still the leader. Aave becomes first DeFi protocol to gain EU approval for regulated fiat on-ramps. So, love to see that. And closing it up here, Harvard University significantly increases Bitcoin ETF holdings. But I don't know. There's, whoa, this was bad. There's been a lot of crypto Twitter X freaking out over this. And I try not to get too down the rabbit hole into conspiracy land. But again, I've been saying for a while now, I hope this is a wake-up call to people who say, it doesn't matter who created Bitcoin, bury your head in the sand. Okay, well, newly released emails reveal Jeffrey Epstein is linked, his money helped fund early Bitcoin core development. And I was talking to some people today, and it was like, who cares? What do you mean, who cares? Look, if it was the government, and the government was in cahoots with this individual and other individuals, like he met with the Treasury Secretary, and like, you don't think that matters? Like, of course it matters. The whole reason why Bitcoin was created and why people flocked to it in the first place, because it was a libertarian movement. It was going against the system. And just imagine if this was the case. And, you know, at the end of the day, it's not looking good, folks. Bitcoin's been tanking. I seen another interesting post. I couldn't find it. I saw it, and then I tried searching for it for like 30 minutes. I couldn't find it. But it was one individual on X. I wish I could remember the handle. That would definitely make me find it. But it was basically saying, what if all these Bitcoin OG whales are selling and they're going into Zcash to try to protect themselves from going to prison because of all of this stuff starting to surface? And I'm like, interesting time for all these privacy coins to be skyrocketing. Even today, Zcash is right around all-time highs, and Bitcoin's plummeting. The rest of the sector's plummeting. So it seems a little coincidental for me, but again, I'm not going to go down too far into the rabbit hole. At the end of the day, everybody's saying, all the Bitcoin maxis, it doesn't matter who created Bitcoin. Leave them alone. Just let them be anonymous. They want to be anonymous. They did this. This is a public good, right? Should be given the Nobel Prize in economics. Okay, then. I don't agree with that. But like I said, bury your head in the sand all you want. That is not the right approach. And so many people say the creator of Bitcoin doesn't matter. It's the only thing that matters, folks. The only thing. That is the only reason why I don't own Bitcoin anymore. I made my money with it. I got out, bought it at 3,000, sold it at 50,000, never looked back. Even if I held it to today, okay, 100 grand, 150 grand, who cares? 100%, 150% extra? Well, I sold Bitcoin at 50 grand and I bought XRP, more XRP and some other altcoins when they were at like a penny, 20 cents, right? And now those have over 10x'd. So I made way more money, and I could care less Bitcoin unless we find out who created it and it wasn't some crazy, you know, but maybe we'll never find out who created it. But at the end of the day, you have to understand that this is always going to be a cloud of worry over your head. If you own Bitcoin, maybe we'll never find out, but maybe they will. And maybe it'll be a kind of a coordinated, like orchestrated destruction and Trojan horse. We just don't know. So again, don't listen to me. Don't listen to anybody else. You have to get real with yourself and say, am I okay holding Bitcoin knowing that we don't know who the creator is? Knowing that we could find out who it is. It could be bad, could be good, or we might never find out, right? So you have to be okay with those risks, and you have to be aware of the risks, and then you have to make your own decision. Okay. All right. Going into there, it's Rod with Pow Group. Thanks again for joining us on the Pursuit of Wealth. Let me know what you think of this news in the comment section. We'll see if things get spicy, but like I say, try not to get too conspiratorial, but you know, you can't ignore it either. Just burying your head in the sand is not a good recipe for success either. All right. Hope you have a great rest of your weekend, and we'll see you on the next video.